I taught New Testament Greek over the summer at Luther Seminary, and in doing that, one of the things that became very apparent is that this is a hard time to be a student. It's a hard time to be a professor. And I just think that's something that we need to talk about at the beginning of the course rather than halfway through or at the end. And so I wanted to lay out some of the things that I think are important for us to keep in mind as we try to learn things and as we try to not only survive these courses, but as we try to thrive in the middle of them. There's some things to keep in mind. The challenges are somewhat obvious, but I think it's important to name them so that we all know what we're dealing with. Partially, it's just a lack of time. The way that the pandemic has changed our relationships to our computers, the way it's changed our relationship to our families, all of these things have contributed to the fact that we just don't have the same amount of time and most importantly, the same amount of attention. There's a lot of things, especially in the fall with an election coming up, there are a lot of things competing for our attention. And so I think one of the things we need to do is just name it. Name that we have less time than we wish we have less attention span than we wish we had, and we can move from there. And second of all, there's this feeling from a lot of students, and myself included, of just low-grade stress, that even in times when we have free time to work on these things, there's that feeling of stress from the uncertainty, from everything that's going on in the world. And so I want to name these things. I want to acknowledge that we're all experiencing them. And I want to talk about the ways in which I, as a professor, will work to mitigate them, not remove them, and which I need you as students and how I need you as students to work along with that. So these are my 4 commitments to you as a professor in this time. Number 1, I will give you structure. I will always tell you what I need you to do, when I need you to do it, and usually how I need you to do it as well. I won't leave you open-ended in terms of asking what is required of me at any given time in this semester. And along with that structure, I will try as hard as possible to make work that fits within the work week. I know, as I said, that we have less time and attention, and so I will try to give us work that, first of all, fits our time schedules, but also does so in an efficient manner so that we're not missing out, but we are keeping our work contained. I'll try to be prompt in communication. So when you send me an email, I will get back to you and I will talk a little bit more about that communication schedule on the next slide. And finally, I want to offer responsive check-ins. What that means is a quarter of the way through the course, halfway through the course, 3/4 of the way through the course, I'm going to ask you how things are going. I will send out probably a Google form of some kind, but I want to get your feedback. Is it too much work? Is it too little work? Is the structure doing what it's supposed to? And I promise that having collected that information, I will make changes to alleviate any concerns and to work with how we're feeling at that given moment. In addition to the things that I'll be doing to try and make this work, I also have some commitments that I need from you. First of all, it's doing your work. This is a self-evident thing to say, but it's also important in that I will be putting in the time to make sure that our workload is reasonable and that our workload accomplishes the goals of this course. And in doing that, I need from you the assurance that you will get that work done. And then second of all, I would like the assurance from you that you'll respect what I call digital Sabbaths. The fact of the matter is right now we are on our computers a lot. And I think it's important for us to try to take some time away from that and to not be connected 24/7. What that means is you're free to send me an email during these times, but just rest assured that I will get back to you as soon as I can, not immediately. So on weekdays, that means between 5 p.m. and 8 a.m., I generally will not answer emails. And on Saturdays and Sundays, I will try not to answer emails. I encourage you to try to do the same. I understand that that's not possible for everyone, but if you can, I think it's good for us all to understand that with online courses, we also need to unplug and to take some time away from them.